Good morning to all. So welcome to final year. This is our first class. I am dealing sixth paper. Let's see the first syllabus of the sixth paper. Okay, so this is the syllabus of sixth paper. As like in previous, in sixth paper we have 4 units. First one is chromatography, and the paper one. The name of this paper is the instrumental method analysis. Instrumental methods of analysis. So that is the name of our paper. That is sixth paper. In that we have 4 units. First one is chromatography, and that is unit one, and unit two also a chromatography, and then third unit two is colorimetry and spectroscopy, and fourth unit is electroanalytical methods. So as a whole we have 4 units. So first unit comprises solvent extraction and some basics about the chromatography and basic techniques. In chromatography we have different techniques. In that in first unit we will discuss about paper chromatography and thin layer chromatography, and some principle involved in chromatography, RF value, like that. And second unit comprises column chromatography. So applications, column chromatography, uh, and packing of that chromatography, and some other techniques like we have HPLC, another chromatography techniques we have. So those are what we say, um, HPLC, high power liquid chromatography, GLC, gas liquid chromatography. So those will be discussed in unit 2. And unit 3 comprises colorimetry and spectroscopy. So generally these techniques we widely used in pathology labs. Pathology lab అంటే ఇప్పుడు మనం బ్లడ్ టెస్ట్ అవి చేస్తాం కదా, సో అక్కడ బాగా యూజ్ చేస్తారు ఇవి. సో ఇక్కడ జనరలీ ఇన్ దట్ వీ హ్యావ్ బీట్స్ ల్యాంబర్ట్స్ లా. In that Beers Lambert's law, we will discuss about the molar absorptivity, absorbance, transmittance, all those things which are involved in application of colorimetry and spectroscopy techniques. And then instrumentation. So in that instrumentation, we have a single beam UV visible spectrophotometer, double beam UV visible spectrophotometer, and how it works, and then applications of it. This will be discussed in the unit 3. And third one is in that unit 3, third one is IR spectrophotometer. So in that we emphasis on FTIR, and then electroanalytical method. So in this almost except B part, everything is we have discussed in electrochemistry, last year electrochemistry. So here this potentiometry and electrochemical cell, types of electrodes, all these things we have already studied. Numerical problems, calculation of EMF of cell, and then one application we will discuss about assay of sulfonamide. And then voltammetry, it is the application of electrochemical method. So here in the construction of electrochemical cell we use generally 2 electrodes, but here we use 3 electrodes. And introduction to type of voltammetric techniques. So just it is just introductory topic. And next in bulk method, so this is reference electrodes. This is the interfacial method. So generally we say interfacial method here. And next one is bulk method. So this is bulk method. In that bulk method again we discuss about the conductometry and conductivity cells, and equivalent conductance, molar conductance, applications of conductance, and the determination of aspirin with KOH. So this is about the basics. That means the syllabus what we are going to learn in this sixth paper, that is instrumental analysis method. So what is the name of this topic? Instrumental methods of analysis. Sorry, instrumental methods of analysis. Okay, so first topic. So these are the reference books. Okay, I will forward this to you. And first topic is the solvent extraction. Okay, see. So before going solvent extraction, I would like to introduce some basic concepts about solvent extraction. So generally in solvent extraction, we require two things. One is two immiscible solvents. One is solute, which are miscible in both. So that means here we require two solvents. Both are immiscible in each other. For example, water and oil. So if you add oil to the water, what happens? You may observe two layers. So that means those oil and water, these are immiscible liquids. So here in that solvent extraction, we require two immiscible liquids or immiscible solvents. One is obviously usually aqueous, and second one is organic solvent. So that means in the solvent extraction we will use or we use two solvents. One is water, second one is organic solvent, and third one is substance or solute, and that solute should be miscible in both. That substance should be miscible in both. So here see the occurs through the partition process. Partition means first we dissolve a solute in water, and then what we do, we to that solution we add organic solvent. When we add organic solvent after stirring, what happens? Whatever substance dissolved in aqueous solution, that slowly enters or partition or distributes into the upper layer or organic layer. So that means here, so which involves the distribution of solute between two immiscible phases, liquid phases. So that means we require three. One is aqueous, that means water. Second one is organic solvent. Third one is a solute which distributes or which dissolves in these two solvents. Okay. So see, this process occurs through the partition process. Partition means distribution. So passing of solute from one liquid into the another liquid, so which involves the distribution of solute between two immiscible liquids. So that is the whole thing. This technique is called solvent extraction. It is also known as liquid extraction. Extraction means taking out. అంటే ఎక్స్ట్రాక్షన్ అంటే ఏంటిది, ఒక ద్రావణం నుంచి ఇంకో మనకు బయటికి తీయడం. సో ఇక్కడ ఏం చేస్తున్నాం, మన సొల్యూట్ని ఇక్కడ మూడు రకాలమైన పదార్థాలను తీసుకుంటున్నాం. రెండేమో ఒకదానిలో ఒకటి కరగని ద్రావణి అంటే సాల్వెంట్స్, రెండోది సొల్యూట్. సొల్యూట్ ఏమవుతుంది, ఈ రెండిట్లో కరగాలి, వాటర్లో కరగాలి, అదేవిధంగా రెండవ సాల్వెంట్ ఏంటిది ఆర్గానిక్ సాల్వెంట్, రెండిట్లో కరగాలి. అటువంటి సొల్యూట్ని తీసుకుంటాం. సో ఫస్ట్ ఏం చేస్తాం, ఈ సొల్యూట్ని మనం వాటర్లో కరిగిస్తాం. వాటర్లో కరిగించిన తర్వాత దాన్ని మనం ఆర్గానిక్ సాల్వెంట్ని యాడ్ చేస్తాం. అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, వాటర్లో కరిగి ఉన్న సొల్యూట్ ఏమవుతుంది, డిస్ట్రిబ్యూట్ అవుతుంది రెండిట్లోకి, ఇట్లా పైకి కిందకి, అంటే రెండిట్లోకి డిస్ట్రిబ్యూట్ వ్యాపిస్తుంది. సో దాన్ని ఏమంటాం మనం, సాల్వెంట్ ఎక్స్ట్రాక్షన్. అంటే నీటిలో కరిగి ఉన్న సొల్యూట్ని ఎక్కడికి తీసుకొచ్చినాం మనం, ఆర్గానిక్ సాల్వెంట్లోకి తీసుకొచ్చినాం. అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఆర్గానిక్ సాల్వెంట్ ఎట్లా పనిచేస్తుంది, ఎక్స్ట్రాక్టెంట్గా పనిచేస్తుంది. సో ఎక్స్ట్రాక్ట్ అంటే తీయటం, తీసుకురావటం. సో ఈ టెక్నిక్ని ఏమంటాం మనం, సాల్వెంట్ ఎక్స్ట్రాక్షన్ అంటాం. సో ఈ సాల్వెంట్ ఎక్స్ట్రాక్షన్ ఏం చేస్తున్నాం మనం, రెండు ద్రవాలని వాడుతున్నాం కాబట్టి దీన్ని ఏమంటాం, లిక్విడ్ ఎక్స్ట్రాక్షన్ అని కూడా అంటాం. ఓకే. సో in the solvent extraction, generally what we do, we use two solvents, both are immiscible into each other, and second one is a solute which is soluble in those two solvents. Okay. Next principle of solvent extraction, when the solute, that may be liquid or solid, is added to heterogeneous system. Heterogeneous system అంటే ఏంటిది, ఇందాకనే చెప్పుకున్నాం, రెండు ఇమ్మిజిబుల్ లిక్విడ్స్ ఉన్నాయి. సో దానికి ఏం చేస్తున్నాం మనం, సొల్యూట్ని కలుపుతున్నాం. అంటే ఇక్కడ మీరు రెండు రకాలుగా చేయొచ్చు. ఒక దాంట్లో ఒక పాత్రలో వాటర్, ఇంకో దానిపైన మనం ఆర్గానిక్ సాల్వెంట్ని కలిపి దాంట్లోకి మనం సొల్యూట్ని తీసుకోవచ్చు. లేకపోతే మీరు సొల్యూట్ని ఏం చేయొచ్చు, వాటర్లో కరిగించిన తర్వాత దానిపైన మీరు ఆర్గానిక్ సాల్వెంట్ తీసుకోవచ్చు. ఇట్లా రెండు రకాలుగా చేయొచ్చు. సో దట్ డిపెండ్స్. బట్ హియర్ వాట్ హీ డిడ్, so here he has taken two immiscible liquids, to that he added solute, and which solute, in both of which the solute is soluble. అంటే ఏ రకంగా ఉండాలి solute should be miscible in both. Then the solute distributes between the two liquids till kinetic equilibrium attains. సో ఇక్కడ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్ అనేది ఎంతవరకు జరుగుతుంది, కైనెటిక్ ఈక్విలిబ్రియం అటైన్ ఎంత వరకు జరుగుతుంది. ఇదిగోండి. సో ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇక్కడ చూపెడుతుంది చూడండి. సో ఫస్ట్ ఏం చేసినా 150 మిల్లీలీటర్ల వాటర్ తీసుకుందాం. సో దాంట్లో మనం ఈ నల్లని బ్లాక్ డాట్స్, సో దోస్ ఆర్ నథింగ్ బట్ సొల్యూట్ని కలిపాం. అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఏమైంది, ఆక్వస్ సొల్యూషన్ అయింది. ఇప్పుడు ఈ ఆక్వస్ సొల్యూషన్ ఏం చేస్తున్నాం, వాటర్లో కరగని ఆర్గానిక్ సాల్వెంట్ ఈథర్ని కలుపుతున్నాం. సో ఇది ఈథర్ని కలిపినాం. సో కలిపినప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, ఇక్కడ వాటర్లో ఉన్న ఈ బ్లాక్ డాట్స్ ఏమైనాయి, ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఎక్కడికి డిస్ట్రిబ్యూట్ అయినాయి, ఎక్కడికి ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ అయినాయి, ఈథర్లోకి ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ అయినాయి. సో అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఏమైంది, వాటర్లో సొల్యూట్ యొక్క కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ తగ్గింది, ఈథర్ యొక్క కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ పెరిగింది. మరి ఎప్పటి వరకు జరుగుతుంది ఈ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ అంటే, ఈ రెండు ద్రావణాల గాఢతల మధ్య అంటే ఈక్విలిబ్రియం అటైన్ కావాలి. అంటే ఈ ది కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ ఆఫ్ బోత్ సొల్యూషన్స్ should be attain equilibrium, should equal equilibrium. Equilibrium అంటే రెండు సమతా స్థితులు, that to be dynamic equilibrium ఉంటుంది. So after establish or attaining dynamic equilibrium, what happened, the concentration of both solution remains constant. So when the dynamic equilibrium attains between these two solutions, then what happened, the concentration of both solution remains constant. Okay, so ఇట్లా జరుగుతుంది. Okay, so next ఇది ఈ పద్ధతి, ఈ ప్రక్రియ, this process is governed by Nernst distribution law. ఇప్పుడు ఈ మొత్తం ప్రక్రియ ఎవరి ఆధారంగా జరుగుతుంది అంటే డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్ గవర్న్డ్ బై Nernst distribution law. ఓకే, మరి Nernst distribution ఏం చెప్తుంది? It is defined as at constant temperature distribution of solute between two immiscible liquids till the resultant solution concentration reaches to the dynamic equilibrium. ఓకే, సో దీన్ని ఏమంటాం మనం, Nernst distribution లా అంటాం. సో ఇది ఇక్కడ చూడండి, ఇక్కడ కే అంటే ఏంటిది, డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్ పార్టీషన్ కోఎఫిషియంట్ అనొచ్చు, లేకపోతే దాన్ని డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్ కోఎఫిషియంట్ అనొచ్చు. సో సమ్ బుక్స్ ఇట్ ఇస్ మెన్షన్డ్ యాజ్ కేడి, ఇన్ సమ్ బుక్స్ ఇట్ ఇస్ మెన్షన్డ్ యాజ్ కే. ఓకే, సో వాట్ ఎవర్ ఇట్ మే బి, బట్ ఇట్ రిఫర్స్ వన్ partition coefficient or distribution coefficient. So what is partition coefficient or distribution coefficient? It is a simple ratio of concentration of solute in organic phase to the solute in aqueous phase. So this is the ratio. Okay, so here's it. When a solution is placed in a separating funnel, so this equipment or this apparatus is known as separating funnel. So it is lit, with this lid we can on off. Okay, so when we on it, what happens, the solution will be diffuses, comes out from this separating funnel. Okay, so this apparatus is known as separating funnel. In that separating funnel, first what he has taken, a funnel is shaken with an immiscible solvent. So first a solution is placed in the solution. So first water తీసుకుంటున్నా, first what we have taken water, to that what we have added 0.5 grams of solute, and then what we get a solution. That solution is known as aqueous solution. To this aqueous solution, what we are adding, again equal volume of ether. So here you should be noted one thing, the volume of solvents, both immiscible solvents should be equal. So here we have taken 150 ml of water, and to that what we are doing, we are adding again 150 ml of ether. Okay, so before adding ether to water, then what we have done, we have dissolved 0.5 grams of solute. Okay, so this is aqueous solution. This is first step. Second step, what, addition of ether to the aqueous solution. After that what we do, we stir it. Then after we stir it, so this is second step. After stirring, what happens, the whatever substance present in water, that will be diffuses or transfer or partition into the ether. Okay, so before how much, so here how much amount of solute is distributed into the ether, x. So how much is remained in water, 50 minus x. Okay, so that x he mentioned that one as 0.4 grams. So that means aqueous solution, ether solution contains 0.4 grams of solute, and whereas aqueous solution contains 0.1 gram of solute. So then the concentration of these two is what, attains an equilibrium. So now what happens, the concentration of these two solutions, organic, this is organic solution, this is aqueous solution, this concentration is going to be remained same, unaffected. So why, equilibrium, dynamic equilibrium is attained. Okay, so next step, so this is about the solvent extraction, and then how we can get this substance. So as we know that water has boiling point is 100, water boiling point is 100, whereas organic solvent boiling point is less. Then what we do, so just we separate these two solutions, and then this organic solution is subjected to the fractional distillation. So what is fractional distillation? Heating followed by cooling. So when we heat, what happens, the ether boiling point is around that means less than room temperature. So it will be on heating, what happens, it will be evaporated, and fractional distillation means what, heating followed by cooling. So when this ether is evaporated, what we do, we cool down that fumes, again we collect the ether. So thereby what we separated, we taken out the solute. Okay, so where that cannot be possible in case of this one. So if you heat aqueous solution, what happens, the solute melting point or solute may be experienced at the higher temperature. When the solute is exposed or subjected to the higher temperature, its chemical nature is going to be altered. So we can prevent that. How? By using organic solvent. Why? Because organic solvents has less boiling points compared to the water. So this is the process. Okay, this is solvent extraction. Next, let let's see the types of solvent extraction. So solvent extraction, in our syllabus we have three types of solvent extraction. One is batch or fractional extraction, second one is continuous extraction, and third one is counter current, or it is also known as Gregg counter current method. Okay, so batch extraction is very much similar to like this. Okay, let's see. So when we use these methods, when we apply these methods, when the k value, the partition coefficient value, so the value decide to adopt or go for which method. If k value is greater than 1, so in this case we can see the k value is almost 4. So why? Because k is equal to concentration of solute in aqueous phase. So that means how much the concentration is nothing but amount of solute. So its amount, it can be taken as 0.4 by the concentration of solute in aqueous. So that is 0.1. So 0.4 by 0.1, how much? 4. So when the Kd value or partition coefficient value is greater than 1, then we go with which method? Batch method, that is also known as fractional extraction, or it is also, in short, it is also known as batch method. So here's look at the first part. When the partition coefficient of a solute is more than 1, then this method is applicable. So when we adopt this, when the Kd value is more than 1. So if partition of solute is more in extractant, that is solvent, than other solvent, by other repetition of extraction, one can get more solute. So see, so here what it means, if you want to uh, take more amount of solute, or we can, if you want to extract more amount of solute from aqueous, so how we can do? By repetition of this, we can extract more amount of solute. The efficiency of batch method depends on partition ratio and the number of extraction. So it is very, very important. So efficiency of this method depends on two things. One is the partition ratio. So partition ratio is greater than 1, then we can, it is best method. And next, how we can extract more amount of substance from water? By repeating the number of extraction. Look at, so in next, see here, this is the solvent extraction efficiency depends on number of extraction and ratio of partition of solute. Okay, so here I'm showing you particularly about two things. One is number of extraction and ratio of partition of solute. So here see, we have taken, for example, in last slide I have shown 150 ml of aqueous water. To that we have dissolved 0.5 grams of solute. To that again we are adding equal volume of ether. Then what happens? The substances starts distribution distributes into the ether, and then what happens after some time? And dynamic equilibrium maintains. After attaining dynamic equilibrium, the amount of solute in ether and in aqueous solution is not going to alter. So that means after attaining equilibrium, the amount of solute present in ether is 0.929 grams and in water is 0.21 grams. Okay, so see, if you repeat this method, so this is first extraction, this is second extraction. After first extraction, if you open this lid, we can collect two solution, we can separate two solutions. So that's why this instrument is known as separating funnel. By means of the separating funnel, we can separate aqueous solution as well as organic solution. This is aqueous solution, this is organic solution. Again, what we are doing, we are transferring this aqueous solution into another separating funnel. To that again we are adding equal amount of ether to it. Then what happens? Again distribution takes place. Out of 0.21 grams of solute, 0.12 grams of solute is transferred into the organic layer, that is ether layer. In aqueous, how much remains? 0.9. Again after attaining equilibrium, again what we are doing, we are separating these two phases or these two solutions. Again, and water, how much amount of solute is remained? 0.09 grams. Again that one is transferred into the third method, third separating funnel. Again we are repeating same process. Thereby what happened? Again, out of 0.9 grams, 0.05 grams of solute is transferred into the ether. So again, after attaining equilibrium, again we are separating. So that means, see, from 0.5 grams, from 0.5 grams, how much amount of solute is transferred into the ether? See, how much here? 0.29, 0.12, so that means 0.41 and 0.05. So how much? Almost 0.46 grams of solute is transferred or extracted into the organism. So here you need to remember one thing is 100% solute cannot be extracted. 100% solute cannot be extracted from aqueous to organic. If you repeat 100 n times of extraction, if you repeat n times of extraction, you cannot extract 100% of solute from aqueous solution. Okay, so see, so we can increase the efficiency of this batch method. How? By the number of extraction. When we increase the number of extraction, then more amount of solute is extracted from aqueous. Next, see here, how much? 0.46 grams of compound is extracted into the ether. Next, this is calculation, how we can calculate. Okay, so in that he mentioned these weights. If you not mention, then how we can do? So here, see, at equilibrium, how much the amount of substance dissolved is in water is capital A grams. How much A grams of substance is dissolved in water? Okay, let's say another model. So here the amount of substance dissolved in water is A grams. So equal amount of two immiscible solvents here we have taken. Equal amount of immiscible solvent is we have taken. So assume that the volume of each solvent is how much? 1000 milliliters. So that means 1 liter. The amount of substance dissolved in water is A grams. The amount of substance distributed in distributed, not in this, from water into the organic solvent is small A grams. Okay, so we can assume like that. And the partition coefficient of this is how much? 2. Assume that partition coefficient value how much? 2. Okay, so once, so this, now convert this weight into the concentration. So the concentration of solute in organic solvent is small a by 1000, that is amount by value, and concentration of solute in organic water is how much? Capital A minus small a. Why? Because out of capital A, small a amount of solute is partitioned into the ether. So how much remain in water? Capital A minus small a. Okay, if the ratio of distribution at partition coefficient, in other words, we can say partition coefficient is equal to how much? 2. So then the concentration of solute in organic solvent by concentration of solute in water, that equals to how much? 2. And what is the concentration of solute in organic solvent? This one, A by 1000, small a by 1000 divided by this concentration of solute in water, how much? Capital A minus small a by 1000. So substitute these values in this formula and we may get how much? 67% of solute is extracted into the organic solvent. Okay, after simplification, you are after all MPC students, you can easily calculate this value. See here, see 2 by 3. So 2 by 3 means how much? 0.67, and convert into the percentage, it is almost 67%. Okay, this is faster. This is faster. If we consume the 1000 ml of organic solvent, so that means if you run one extraction, so in single extraction we can extract how much amount of solute? 67% of solute. So with same volume of organic solvent, if we do two extractions, if we run two extraction, how? The volume of water is same, 1000 ml, and but here what we are doing, we are dividing the volume of organic solvent into two portions. So how much? Equal volumes, 500 ml, 500 ml. So first 500 ml is utilized in first extraction. So if you do, what happens? The concentration of solute in organic solvent, how much? Small a by 500. Why? Because here we have used only 500 ml of organic solvent, whereas at total volume, 1000 ml of water we are using. The concentration of solute in organic in water, how much? Capital A minus small a by 1000. If you substitute that, if you substitute these values in distribution ratio formula or partition coefficient or distribution coefficient, that is concentration of organic solvent by concentration of solute in organic solvent by concentration of solute in water, that equals to 2. If you substitute these values, these two values in that formula, you may get how much? 50% first extraction. In first term, how much volume of organic solvent we have utilized? 500 ml. Next, if you repeat second one with remaining amount of organic, remaining volume of organic solvent. So now that means in second extraction we are using second portion of organic solvent. So same. So what happens? How much amount of solute remain in water? Already 50% is extracted. So how much remained? 50%. 50% means it can be taken as capital A by 2. The amount of solute before adding organic solvent is how much? A by 2. After adding 500 ml of organic solvent to this, then what happens? Some amount out of that A by 2, some amount is transferred into the organic solvent, and how much amount? We assume that A2. Now the concentration of organic solvent solute, the concentration of solute in organic solvent. Actually, you should add you add solute in organic solvent is how much? A by 2 by 1000, and the concentration of water aqueous solution is how much? A by 2 minus A2 by 1000. Now substitute this in distribution coefficient formula. That is what is what is that? The concentration of solute in organic solution by the concentration of solute in aqueous solution, that equals to 2. If you substitute these values again, you may get this value A by 4, how much? 0.25. So in first extraction we have extracted 50%, and second extraction we have extracted 25. So by using 5000 ml of organic solvent, if you increase the number of extractions, so we can extract more amount of solute. So that means in these two, in second step, in second method, so we have executed two extraction with that two steps, we have extracted 75%. But whereas in single, we have in single step we have extracted only 67%. So that means we can extract more amount of solute by increasing number of extraction. But here one thing, we cannot extract 100% of solute from the water. So this is about one batch extraction. Okay. So in next class we will discuss about remaining two methods. What is that? Continuous extraction. So after that we will discuss about the counter extraction. Then we will discuss about the applications. Okay. After that we will move to next topic, that is chromatography. Okay. So I hope you have understood this. So what is solvent extraction? Solvent extraction is nothing but a physical suppression method. So in that suppression method, what we are doing, we are separating. So that means during the separation of this during this method, the solute composition is not going to alter. So here number of things you should keep in your mind. Solvent, both solvents should be immiscible, chemically inactive, those should be chemically inactive, and solute should be distributed or dissolved in both solvents, and again it should not react with both solvents. Okay. So chemically inert, so that means here only physical change may happen, so that is dissolution may happen, but whereas no chemical change will happen in this process. Okay. What is solvent extraction? Solvent extraction is a separation method in which solution comes in contact with the second solvent that is immiscible with first, to pass the solvent into the second solvent. This occurs through the partition process, which involves the distribution of solute between two immiscible liquid phase. This technique is called solvent extraction, and it is also known as solute-solute extraction. And this one is governed by Nenner's distribution law. And what is KD? KD is a partition coefficient, or you can say distribution coefficient. So how we can get the distribution coefficient? The concentration of solute in organic phase by concentration of solute in aqueous phase. So this is separating funnel. For this experiment we use a instrument called separating funnel. So first what we do, we transfer water, to that we add solute, and thereby we make after stirring, what happens, this solute completely dissolves in water. So that means your solute should completely miscible. in both liquids, completely miscible. Okay. Okay, so after complete miscible of dissolution of this solute in water, what we get, it may be, it become aqua solution. To that aqua solution, what do we add? Another organic solvent which is insoluble in water. So after addition of this, again what we do, we stir it and we keep aside for some time. Meanwhile, what happens? The distribution of solute takes place from aqua solution into the upper phase, organic phase, bottom phase to upper phase. And then after some time, what happens? And the dynamic equilibrium will attain. After attaining the dynamic equilibrium, the concentration of these two solutions remains constant. So that is known as distribution law also. Okay. And the types of solvent extraction, we have in our syllabus three methods we have. One is batch method, second one is continuous, third one is counter current. So what is batch method? So when we go for batch method, when KD value is more than 1. And next, efficiency of this batch method is how it depends on the number of extraction and ratio of partition of solvent. If KD value is greater than 1, 2, 3, 4, so that means the extraction is more. Extraction of solute from aqueous into the organic solvent is more when the KD value is greater. And we can increase the same by repeating the number of extraction. So that means we can extract more amount of solute in organic phase or solvent by how? By increasing number of extractions. Okay, so this is okay. So next class we will discuss about remaining two methods. What is that? Continuous extraction and Geiger plot. Okay.